thank Mr. Rotundo, Mrs. Keel, and Mr. Jabert for our pre-ceremony concert by the Shawnee Wind Ensemble and also the Shawnee Choral Groups. At this time, could I please have the members of the senior members of the Shawnee Singers to please come up to my left? No. I'll do it with you. And at this time, I would please ask all of you to stand for the national anthem. Thank you.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Let them get back to the seats, and then we'll sing. One. Two more still getting in line. All right, ready? Big hands. Go. Go. Ah. Big sigh. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Matthew Campbell, and I'm proud to be the principal at Shawnee High School. Superintendent Dr. Carol Birnbaum, from the Lenape Regional Child Study Team, Mrs. Navarrete, Lenape Regional Board members, Mr. Lee, Mrs. Eckel, Mr. Jones, all school staff, administrators, and Board of Education members from Medford and Medford Lake School Districts, all of our elected officials, mayors, and township committee members from Medford and Medford Lakes, other distinguished guests, parents and guardians, family and friends, members of the Shawnee staff, and of course, the class of 2019. I'd like to welcome you all to the Lenape Regional High School District at Shawnee High School for tonight's commencement ceremony for the class of 2019. I would first like to say, and to be the first to say officially, congratulations to the class of 2019 for an amazing 4 years. I would like to thank all of your parents and guardians, as well as your teachers from Shawnee High School, from Medford Lakes and Medford Township Schools, because you are not here without them. So let's please give a round of applause for all your parents, guardians, and teachers. I would like to give a special shout out to 3 of our teachers who are here for their final graduation. Special round of applause for Mrs. Janet Takamoto, Mrs. Judy McHugh, and Mr. Rob Rainier. Now, I have one message for you, the class of 2019, and I'm sure you've heard me speak to this many times over the past 4 years, and it's about making smart decisions. You will need to realize that every decision you will make can and will have a consequence, and it will impact your future. You are now an adult. There are no more do-overs. And the decision you make when you get behind the wheel or walk into a party need to be the right ones. And I can say what I've witnessed over the past 4 years, I have every confidence that you will continue to choose wisely. So finally, I want to say for one last time, thank you. You've truly been a special class. The list of accomplishments for the class of 2019 is long and distinguished, but it does not add the impact or measure the impact that you've had on this building. I can honestly say, under your leadership, Shawnee High School has become a better place over the last 4 years. So I say to the class of 2019, congratulations on a job well done, thank you, and best wishes. Now, at this time, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you the president of the senior class, Mr. Owen Blemlick.
Thank you, Mr. Campbell. Class of 2019, we are finally here. Graduation. Can you believe that 4,668 days ago, we began our first day of kindergarten and our journey towards this moment? To me, that's overwhelming. Today, we take our final steps across the Shawnee gym as Shawnee seniors. We close the chapter of our lives called high school and open a new chapter waiting to be written. Once the speeches have concluded and our names have been announced, we will be done. We will officially be Shawnee High School graduates. However, no matter where your journey takes you from here, none of us should forget where we came from. When I was asked what I was going to talk about, the possibilities seemed endless. What does one person even say to his whole class? I needed to find some sort of common ground. And that common ground just so happened to be the place that we all call home. For most of us, Medford and Medford Lakes is the place that we have called home our entire lives. For those who have moved here, I hope you would still call this your home. I even dare to say that Shawnee has become our second home. For the past 4 years of our lives, we have arrived at 7:20 and escaped rarely at 2:17, as many of us stayed after due to our high involvement in sports and activities. With that being said, when it came to arriving at 7:20, well, we won't talk about that. Instead, let's focus on Medford and Medford Lakes, communities that have given us so much to cherish. Just think about Tuesday night wing night at PJ's, seeing everyone in Medford it seems. Or Riv Pizza on a Friday night. Even better, think about Bagel Shop on a Saturday or Sunday morning when everyone is looking their absolute best. Think about things like Canoe Carnival or rushing to Rustic after school on a half day to get lunch. How about the race to the beach on the Friday of Memorial Day weekend? It seems as though it's one big caravan down to the shore points. These are the things that I know personally I'll never forget. It feels like around every corner in this little place that we call home, you can find a memory or a familiar face. And to me, that means so much. Shawnee, tucked inside our Medford bubble, has also impacted our lives. Think about the first day of freshman year, scared of what was to come, clinging on to your closest friend. Or you were looking for the end of the C Hall so you could take a left to get to your next class. Sophomore and junior years, simply a combination of stress and schoolwork. How we made it out, I still don't know. Then finally, senior year. Think about things like Renegades, the ultimate showdown. It seems as though each year the underclassmen thought they were going to win, yet they never have. We shared in memories like back-to-back state football championships, then a trip to MetLife Stadium as a cherry on top. We traveled to Disney with our closest friends and were given the opportunity to give back during senior day of service. It even comes down to the little things, like walking into a class with a greeting from your favorite teacher, or sprinting in the front doors as Rawhide plays, or sitting in study hall chatting about all the work you should be doing instead of actually doing it. These are the moments that have made this place mean the most to us. If we remember anything from high school, let it be that. Let it be that feeling we had when doing those things, living in these moments with our closest friends. These friends and these moments are home. Shawnee has also taught us so many things that I think most of us can agree on. First, it is almost impossible to get to school if you leave your house even a minute late. Believe me, I know this one to be very true. Second, procrastination is not always key. Staying up till 2 a.m. is not a good way to study for a test, especially since most of that time is spent on Snapchat, Instagram, or YouTube. Third, appreciate the people close to you. If you've made it this far together, that must mean something. And finally, and it pains me to say this one, Sometimes our parents are right, even though we'd never admit it. Well, I guess now it's time for my final farewell. We have worked countless hours to be where we are today and to be able to pursue the path that we have chosen. This moment is the last time that we will stand together as the class of 2019. Once the pictures are over and we pick up our parting packets, we are officially done. No longer are we Shawnee students, we are Shawnee High School alumni. In the past 12 years of my life, I have met some of the best people. I found people who can turn lemons into lemonade and who have reminded me to choose kindness over ridicule. We have worked as a class for these past 12 years, but as just a class, but not as just a class, as a community and as friends. We have grown together and learned together things that go beyond the classroom. We will always have Shawnee and we will always have each other. Although we will leave here and pursue very different lives, we will always have these 40 square miles we call home. So as all of you head out into the real world, remember what you have learned and the people that you have met. Remember that no matter what, you can always find your way back home. Because once a renegade, always a renegade. Thank you. I would now like to introduce Mr. Dodd, who will be recognizing my fellow graduates who have earned perfect attendance and straight A's over 4 years.
Thank you, Owen. Good evening. It is now my pleasure to announce the students receiving special recognition for the tremendous achievement of having A's on every report card for each class for all 4 years at Shawnee High School. These students are Joshua Timothy Atwater, Gina Nicole Christophas, Aditya Deshmukh, Emma M. Fortino, Leah Faith Ginian, Charlotte Rose Mandy, Maria Sangataldo, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause for our students who have earned the very impressive honor of straight A's over 4 years. It is also my pleasure to announce our student receiving special recognition for having perfect attendance for 4 years. This student is Robert J. Rutliano. It is now my honor and a distinct privilege to introduce Shawnee High School's 2019 Valedictorian, Jacob Delancey.
Thank you, Mr. Dodd. Good afternoon, students, staff, family, friends, distinguished guests, and of course, fellow graduates of the class of 2019. It is my distinct honor to stand before you today, a pivotal day when we are all unsure of what our future has in store. While Owen has addressed how we have grown together as a class, I will address personal growth and the power of you as an individual. I'm sure we're all dying in the heat, so I'll try and keep it brief. High school is like a minivan. It's just that simple. For those of you who don't know, I currently own an old town and country minivan. Yes, it's a stereotypical mom van that you're probably picturing in your mind. One that's built like a tank and fits half the sports team. It has dents, scratches, rust, and only half the doors actually open. Most of the carnage was from my older brothers, but we won't talk about that. Now, I would like all the graduates to think back to the first few tests they took as freshmen in high school. It was a wake-up call for us, the start of a new chapter in our lives. And like my minivan, high school has certainly put a few dents in us along the way. But the important thing is that we learned, we adapted, and we strove to be better every single day. I stand before you today with a message of encouragement to continue to strive for excellence. I believe that success in the world we live in today depends on our ability to take ownership over our actions, good or bad. This personal responsibility, fellow graduates of 2019, is a skill Shawnee has started teaching us, but one that we must continue to develop through college and beyond. To illustrate what I mean by personal responsibility, welcome to the pop quiz portion of my speech. Yes, class of 2019, you have one more test question, but I promise it's an easy one. What does a tattoo and a yearbook have in common? Anyone? Nope. Neither should ever include your girlfriend's name. So junior year, I received a questionnaire asking, who would you most like to take to JDD? Most people answered with celebrities or themselves. Nope, that wasn't me. I said, my beautiful girlfriend, insert name, who's a great dancer. I'm not just saying this to make fun of myself, though, but I tell this story because it's a funny example of a bump in the road, a dent, if you will, in my high school journey. We all make mistakes that we may feel embarrassed about, but the important thing is that we can learn from and joke about our blunders. Now, let's move beyond trivial yearbook stories to something much more serious. My minivan. The van's appearance is not its only unique feature. It also adjusts to almost any situation while essentially remaining the same vehicle. Yesterday, it carried lawnmowers to landscaping. Today, it carries a proud new graduate of Shawnee High School. And tomorrow, it will have to continue adapting. Likewise, moving beyond high school into college, the workforce, or the military will be full of change. Some, if not most of it, is great. We will meet new friends, discover new interests, and make the next 4 years the best of our lives so far. But we should also remember our roots, our guiding morals. In the highly politicized world we live in today, it could be easy to drop your beliefs because they do not conform with your professors or peers. It can be easy to drop your beliefs because you're viewed a certain way, or it could be easy to drop your beliefs simply because it's convenient. Well, class of 2019, I challenge you to let the next 4 years be the most transformative of our lives, but to also come out of the other side still true to yourself. Another great part about owning such a breathtaking vehicle is its versatility as it transformed to fit my needs. The van handles well on roads, both paved and dirt. Mom and Dad, you didn't hear that. And you never know what you might find in it. I was just cleaning it out this weekend, for example, and I found $50 worth of water guns that are completely useless since I got out in the first 24 hours of water elimination. 4 old tests from freshman year, 3 lawnmowers from yesterday's job, 2 dusty pictures of JDD, and believe it or not, a partridge in a pear tree. Over the past 4 years, we have also become versatile young men and women, each of us collecting a unique set of tools. The question becomes, how do we use them? In college, trade school, the workforce, the military? I believe, class of 2019, that regardless of where you're going, just like my minivan changes to fit my needs, so must we transform ourselves into the individuals we are meant to be. I don't claim to know what the future has in store for us. I don't even remember half of everything that happened in high school. But what I do know is that we are a class of already distinguished students, and that I couldn't ask for a better group of classmates to go through high school with. I hope that as we move into the so-called real world, you take away from my speech the power of the individual. As Donald Trump put it in a 2004 commencement speech, don't give up. If there is a concrete wall in front of you, go through it, go over it, go around it, but get to the other side of that wall. Class of 2019, strive for excellence and stay true to yourself as you transform into the person you are meant to be. Thank you. I would now like to call Ms. Fico up to the podium to recognize the top 10% of her class. Thank you.
Thank you, Jacob. It is now my distinct pleasure to recognize the students who have earned the honor of placing in the top 10% of their class. These students are Joshua Timothy Atwater, Jake Liam Becker, Nicholas Matthew DeSantis, Gabriel G. Blanco, Rachel Blanco, Gina Nicole Christophas, Jacob Delancey, Benjamin Daniel Delmeyer, Adita Deschmuck, Emma D. Dejoux, Paul W. Downey, Aiden Patrick Dowling, Sarah Flesher, Dominic Richard Forte, Emma M. Fortino, Alexander C. Friedman, Gloria C. Fritsch, Leah Faith Ginian, Josephine Angela Gray, Margot Elizabeth Hanson, Jacob Everett Heaton, Jessica Nicole Hooker, Lauren Jane Jobs, Sophia Emma Cambor, Joshua John Lamb, Max Aiden Landry, Gemma Emma Lee, Morgan Isadora Lewin, Brian Eric Lorenz, Kayla E. Lundberg, Charlotte Rose Mandy, Kelsey Helen Martin, Matthew R. Mason, Madison Rose McGarren, Lindsay O. Monaco, Megan Elizabeth Moore, Kira T. Mortensen, James William Murray, Pilar M. Nieves, Tressa May Croetto, Morgan Lee Rowley, Maxwell James Rebstock, Robert J. Rotliano, Maria Teresa Sangataldo, Mari Rose Schofield, Daniel Jacob Smith, Elizabeth Spicer, Laura Strachan, Samantha Page Volpe, Timothy M. Warren, Carrington Page Windle. Donovan Tay Wu. Please give a big round of applause for these students earning a place. Congratulations to the top 10%. It is now my pleasure to introduce Ms. DiNatale, who will give special recognition to students who are entering the armed services.
Thank you, Ms. Bucco. It is now my distinct pleasure to recognize the students entering the armed services upon graduation. When I call your name, please stand. These students are Kaylee Nicole Beck, United States Coast Guard; George Michael Vernon Blackwell, Army ROTC, Seton Hall; Aditya Deshmukh, United States Naval Academy; Sean Hughes Riley, United States Coast Guard; Mark Voorhees, Army ROTC, Worcester Polytechnic Institute. At this time, would all current and former members of the armed services please stand so we can honor and recognize your service to our country. It is now my pleasure to introduce Shawnee High School's 2019 Salutatorian, Aditya Deshmukh.
Thank you, Mrs. DiNatale. And thank you to the students, teachers, parents, and staff who have made these 4 years some of the most unforgettable of our lives. As we embark on this path of limitless possibilities and opportunity, it is hard for each of us not to raise the questions. What are my goals in life? How can I contribute to the world? These questions are only furthered by the uncertainty that we hold as we enter this dark unknown regarding society's expectations of our generation to give back to our country. The goal of high school, contrary to some people's beliefs, is not to graduate as many students with the highest possible GPA. Rather, it is to educate students and imbue them with values which foster active citizenship, the desire to give back to our country in a multitude of ways. The very founding of our country was based on principles of volunteerism and service, values which I believe are found in every good citizen, and values which are encouraged in us here at Shawnee. Take Senior Day of Service, for instance. I remember heading to Lionsgate, an elder care facility, thinking to myself, thank God we're not in school, but also thinking of how the other students and I could help the residents. When we arrived, I took an immediate liking to one of the residents. Her name was Ruth. Now, even though Ruth was 92 years old, and she made sure to tell me how young that was multiple times, she was one of the most funny and energetic people I'd ever met. Whether it was playing games with her or having her tell me I was too young to date at 17, but old enough to get married at 18, the vibrancy that Ruth expressed while we were there was simply amazing to see. As we were leaving, I remember how appreciative Ruth was about the other students and I coming to spend time with them. And I was amazed to see the positive impact the students and I had made in the day that we were there. It is experiences like this which have shown me the power of volunteerism and service to impact one's life. The energy I saw from my fellow classmates on Senior Day of Service shows the cultivation of these principles of active citizenship. And it is a credit to Shawnee for giving us the opportunity to give back to our community and to serve our country in this way. I want to connect this idea of active citizenship to the idea of what we are expected to do for society and our world. We are the ones that are going to be changing the world. I can't emphasize that enough. We are reaching the beginning of an era where it will be our actions and decisions that determine our own future, not those of older generations. With the immense power that we hold right at our fingertips, the ability to enact change is simply limitless. Being the digital generation and always being connected is one of the strongest reasons our generation will be able to impact the world. It is clear that we are more affected by world events than previous generations, having a front row seat to hardship and suffering of people everywhere through the myriad of resources online. Evidently, it is the sheer level of consumption of this information that has made our generation much more conscientious and aware in contrast to those before us. Even the way we are brought up, to learn in teams, to work for the collective, further shows that active citizenry already seen in our generation. We are the generation that feels that doing good and making the world a better place aren't options, but necessities. Undoubtedly, we are poised to beneficially serve and impact society and the world with our resourcefulness and resilience. We have the power to better society. We have the power to change the course of our country and the world. That much is clear. Yet reaching our true potential requires transcending this barrier of uncertainty that we may hold now. It requires having a sense of imagination, pushing the boundary of our preconceived notions of what we have the ability to do. It necessitates taking that first step into the darkness of the infinite unknown. Hearing this may be scary for some. At least I know it definitely is for me. But how will we know what we are really capable of without embracing the unknown? Fellow classmates, I stand here before you today, having known most of you for many years. I look into your faces, and I see a group that holds unlimited potential. I see a group that embodies these principles of service and volunteerism. I see a group that rejects mediocrity, and a group ready to strive for something greater. I see a group that is crazy enough to think that they can change the world, because we are the ones who will. Thank you. I would now like to introduce Mrs. Ferris, who will present local awards. Thank you.
Thank you, Aditya. It is normally accustomed to list all students who receive financial assistance from various educational institutions. We are grateful and will continue to be grateful for their support. However, after serious consideration and because the local awards and scholarships are so numerous, we simply ask for our award winners to stand at this time. Our 141 local award winners this year will benefit from almost $100,000 in generous donations that will directly assist our graduates in pursuing their continuing education. Please refer to your program where you will find a complete list of the awards and recipients. On behalf of the Lenape Regional High School District, I would like to thank all of our local sponsors for their continued support of our students. At this time, please give a big round of applause and congratulations to all of our local award recipients. I now have the honor of welcoming Dr. Carol Birnbaum, Superintendent of Schools for the Lenape Regional High School District, who will recognize Shawnee High School's class of 2019.
Good evening, everybody, and especially our graduates, or as your superhero-themed yearbook refers to you, should I call you super seniors. Throughout your high school career at Shawnee, you honed your superpowers, and it is noteworthy that some of the superpowers you, super seniors, cited in your yearbook as the most powerful to possess are determined, confident, advocate, outgoing, and smiling. Let us add to that, for the past 4 years, some other superpowers you displayed, were your abilities to learn, apply hard work, resiliency, and commitment to each other and that of your community. And it is those traits that allowed you to contribute to the tradition of excellence that is here at Shawnee High School. Superheroes have sidekicks. They are the ones who cheer you on when you fly and catch you when you fall. At a time of great change, like a graduation, one begins to reflect. And I'm sure you are all reflecting on the many sidekicks who help you leap tall buildings in a single bound, such as your friends, your teachers, coaches, counselors, mentors, and of course, your family members. Graduates, while what you have accomplished may be super, the world doesn't need superhumans. Take that pressure off your shoulders and just be human. Continue to care and connect with the people you encounter, and continue to carry the guidance and love from those who have supported you wherever you venture. Being human means you recognize that the unconditional love and advice you receive from those who support you has a great impact on your abilities. So, class of 2019, since you do not have bionic ears, I will translate what you should hear behind the words often said to you. When your teachers ask, "Did you study?" they are really saying, "Be prepared for what comes next." When your parents hassle you to empty the dishwasher, they are guiding you to tackle assigned tasks. Saying, "Clean your room," means be organized or take care of the environment. Get off your phone is their way of saying, make real connections with people. Visit your grandparents is their way of telling you to acknowledge the people who love and care for you. And because you are simply human and not immortal, when your parents say, "Be careful," it is their way of saying, "Please come back to us." Graduation is a time to say goodbye to some of your sidekicks here at Shawnee, but it is not a clear signal that your sidekicks will stop wanting the very best for you. If you carry the lessons learned from all of us, your sidekicks and your loved ones, and continue to work hard and give back to your community and have fun, you will be able to reach infinity and beyond. While we are eager to see you soar up, up, and away, we won't let you go without one final hug and a reassuring squeeze. And if I can offer one more translation to all of you, when your loved ones give you that goodbye hug, what that hug really says to all of you is that you've got this. We can't wait to see what you do in your next phase of your lives. And that reassuring squeeze at the end says, remember this feeling. We are all proud of you. Now, in my official capacity as the superintendent of the Lenape Regional High School District, I hereby certify to the Lenape Regional High School District Board of Education that the collected members of the Shawnee Senior Class of 2019 have fulfilled all the requirements prescribed by the state of New Jersey and the local Board of Education. Further, that they have, at this time, earned the right to be awarded a Shawnee High School diploma. Mr. Campbell and the Board of Education members, it is my honor to present to you the members of the Shawnee High School Class 2019. We have a tradition of having two outstanding seniors receive their diplomas first so that they may read all the names of their fellow graduates. I present Emma Dijazu. Patrick O'Hanlon. Emma and Pat will now be announcing the names of their fellow graduates as they receive their diplomas. Congratulations to all of our graduates.
Good evening. It is our distinct honor to announce the names of the Shawnee High School Class of 2019. Alze R. Alvarado. Elliot Reuben Arking. Robert Lee Arnold III. Joshua Timothy Atwater. Garrett Nicholas Babick. Ryan Everett Ball. Ryan Matthew Baltz. Jackson Jeter Balzan. Jake DeSantis. Jake Liam Becker. Brian Edward Beidel. Bryce Michael Benson. Alex Christian Benstead. Nicholas Matthew Bizanis. Connor J. Bilbo. Russell Andrew Billick. Landon John Bill. Gabriel Bashara. Stoney John Bishop. George Michael Vernon Blackwell. Gabriel G. Blanco. Matthew Marcello Blanco. Owen Gregory Blemlick. Alex Borello. Nicholas Gabriel Brandt. Jeffrey H. Cannon Jr. John Capone. Garrett John Corella. Jacob Carvin. Rowan Christensen. Jack Nicholas Cobb. Nolan M. Coffey.
Emma Elizabeth Adams. Dominique Elena Adornetto. Julia Annette Allison. Amanda Paige Beck. Kaylee Nicole Beck. Emma Catherine Belfiore. Haley Lynn Benson. Alexis Nicole Bernheimer. Rachel Blanco. Kaylee Rose Blash. Georgiana Grace Boguski. Anne Catherine Boyle. Kalina S. Bradley. Caroline Olivia Bray. Marina Catherine Bricker. Kaylee Michael Brunetti. Megan Kathleen Bryan. Dream Danielle Bryant. Emily Christine Cable. Adriana Rose Caputo. Michaela Storm Saradsky. Jacinda L. Chalfant. Juliana Nicole Chambers. Gina Nicole Chrysofis. Stephanie Grace Sorelli. Madison Connolly. Julia Nicole Cooker. Kayla Corey. Mia Catherine Rose Cadimo. Alyssa Lynn Carilla. Madison Leah Davidson. Nicole Kathleen Del Vecchio.
Robert A. Cohen. Connor Coulahan. Nicholas Robert Corrado. Ryan F. Craig. Anthony L. Cunez. Salvatore Giuseppe Cusimano. Joseph George Dawsey IV. Lucas S. Stanley. Benjamin Xavier DeAngelis. Jacob Thomas Delancey. Benjamin Daniel Delmeyer. Stephen Donald Derringer II. Aditya Deshmukh. Connor G. Deviney. Aiden A. DiStefano. Matthew Joseph DeVello Jr. Joseph Chandler Dobis. Colin Michael Doherty. Aiden Patrick Dowling. Paul W. Downey. Bryce Jackson Dunleavy. Jackson Dyson. Connor A. Eisenberg. Nicholas Elder. Andrew Lance Ellis II. Brandon Andrew Epstein. Kyle Francis Etter. Gavin Q. Escusion. Andrew Robert Farr. Samuel Akira Feldkamp. Alec A. Fernandez. Dylan Nicholas Ferrari.
Chloe Deming. Natalie Macy DiPasquale. Ava A. DiBartolomeo. Ellie A. DiBartolomeo. Mary Doyle. Sarah Drexel. Lindsay Durbrow. Olivia Marie Falzone. Meredith Ann Farley. Nicola Ruth Farrell. Gianna Favilla. Rebecca Feinberg. Sarah Fleischer. Molly Irene Flynn. Emma Fortino. Gloria C. Fritsch. Jesse H. Gage. Paige Ann Guillen. Parthena B. George. Sierra P. Gill. Leah Faith Ginion. Madeline Ray Jaquinto. Hallie Ann Giffins. Juliana R. Gliger. Yaviela K. Gonzalez. Josephine Angela Gray. Summer R. Griffin. Madison Lee Groller. Julia Michelle Gunderson. Caitlin Nicole Hamilton. Jamie Michelle Hamlin.
Colin Patrick Foley. Gavin Ford. Dominic Richard Forte. Cameron J. Foster. Joshua Foster. Nicholas Edwin Fox. Jacob William Frett. Alexander C. Friedman. John James Furmeister. Bayman Gray Gill. David Edward Giordano. Augustin John Gray. Tyler Shaw Green. Ethan S. Greenberg. Brian Keith Griffith Jr. Samson Gutworth. Carl Hauser. Jacob Everett Heaton. Brandon Heck. Ryan John Hine. Timothy Robert Heslin. Jason Michael Holmes. Zachary Huminski. Trent David Jenkins. Brandon M. Joel. Vaughn A. Capahagan Jr. Sean Michael Keevy. Adam Patrick Keir. Ryan Kelleher. Tim Charles Kelly. Eric Austin Kennedy. Patrick Joseph Kernan.
Margot Elizabeth Hansen. Winter Camille Henry. Sarah Ann Hewitt. Jessica Nicole Hooker. Gloria N. Hopkins. Corey Madison Howdyshell. Emma Ray Howell. Lauren Jane Jobs. Sophie Emma Cambor. Natalia S. Catriciosis. Haley Ann Keene. Hunter Lynn Keene. Grace M. Kearns. Gabrielle Alexa Koenig. Kira L. Kennedy. Kayla Paige King. Ashley Nicole Knecht. Sally Lepiska. Kella Marie Lauriello. Jamie Emma Lee. Morgan Isadora Lewin. Eliana Lil. Kaylee Wanda Lipo. Amber Jean Little. Victoria Lafredo. Catherine Logan. Jordan Logar. Jacqueline Ray Lapardo. Cassandra E. Lopez. Celia Grace Luling. Kayla Elizabeth Lundberg. Kaylee Lizak.
Harry William Kingsmill. Matthew John Clamo. Jacob Edward Cosmore. Alex Vaughn Lacavera. Joshua John Lamb. Max Aiden Landry. Bo W. Lanzadell. Jordan Thomas Lash. Cody Joseph Lawrence. Sungho Dan Lee. Nathan Litka. Andrew Lodge. Casey Andrew Lone. Nicholas Robert Lope. Ryan Eric Lorenz. Nicholas H. Latirzo. Connor McGuire. Edward J. Mangione. Alexander Mann. Nicholas Giovanni Marcinko. Devin W. Moraes. Derek Charles Martin. Matthew R. Mason. Luke Mather. Colin McCourt. Cullen F. McDonald. Daniel Aaron McDowell. Ethan Wade McGinley. Patrick Joseph McGlynn. Joshua Mena. Corey J. Meyer. Wade Lee Miller.
Samantha A. Madewell. Hannah Maloney. Isabella Lynn Mancini. Charlotte Rose Mandy. Tony M. Marmo. Kelsey Helen Martin. Riley Emma Mason. Davika Marie Massaro. Monica Rose McBride. Marquetta Erin McCabe. Alexa Danielle McLean. Margaret Ann McDonald. Madison Rose McGeeran. Alexandra McGinley. Faith D. McNaughton. Ava Meekum. Sierra M. Miles. Lindsay O. Monaco. Megan Elizabeth Moore. Cameron Grace Morgan. Lauren Elizabeth Morrison. Kira T. Mortensen. Hannah N. Moyer. Megan Rose Murphy. Pilar M. Nieves. Nishay Emilion Nixon. Carlisle Marston O'Neill. Emma Louise Edel. Ariana O'Weiler. Sophia Pato. Yejin I. Park. Nicolette L. Patachio.
Stephen Andrew Minder. Adam Jeffrey Mink. Joshua Adam Maragula. Alex Mark Mongola. Joseph Matthew Moore. Jonathan Charles Maragula. Julian Morrill Shields. James William Murray. Tyler Murray. Patrick Neri. Raul H. Nyack. Gabriel Newberger. Lucas Bradley Newman. Christopher Franklin O'Neill, Alex J. Ozer, Corey Martin Ott, Mark Joseph Palmieri, Grant Pargas, Dylan R. Parker, Javier E. Perez, John Henry Perks, Ian Douglas Plummer, Anthony Jack Papalardo, Ted O. Prestige III, Cooper T. Quigley, Maxwell James Repstock, Timothy Joseph Riley, Shane C. Rhodes, Amon Alton Richards, Adam Kyle Richwell, Nicholas Peter Riley.
Tressa May Proetto. Madeline Amanda Quigley. Morgan Lee Rowley. Allie Ramaglia. Megan Elizabeth Randall. Holly Elizabeth Raup. Brianna Reardon. Caitlin Elizabeth Reese. Darian Rose Rimels. Caitlin R. Reynolds. Annika Renane. Macy Lynn Roberts. Jada Sky Robinson. Lexi Rock. Raven Rooney. Robbie Ann Ross. Grace Round. Kylie K. Rubright. Grace Elizabeth Rudman. Sydney C. Runner. Maria Teresa Sangataldo. Sierra Letty Sanson. Kayla Ananda Scarborough. Mary Rose Schofield. Amanda M. Schultz. Megan Nicole Saradarian. Olivia Rose Saratella. Lauren Elizabeth Simone. Natalie Marie Simonetti. Allison Elizabeth Sapira. Janetta Carol Scavarla. Lauren Marie Scavarla.
Sean Hughes Riley, Angelo Rinaldi, Trevor Robbins McKee, Alex Barnaby Rodden, Abel H. Rodriguez Jr., Samuel William Rower, John S. Rosania, Robert J. Rotiliano, Aiden Thomas Ryder, William Alexander Schick, Eric J. Schubert, Richard M. Schwartz, Brendan Gregory Scott, Jonathan Robert Searcy, Lance C. Sims, Jonathan Paul Slominski, Brendan Michael Slows, Daniel Jacob Smith, Stephen J. Snyder, Christopher E. Stanger, Jacob Steffen, John David Stern, James Austin Suchecki, Justin Adam Supnick, Justin Theodore Swanbeck, Maximilian L. Zubin Mosiki, Raphael Taines, Cameron Mark Teleche, Riviere Thomas, Brian A. Vasquez de la Rosa, Jake Vadavaz.
Jacob Strong. Cassidy M. Smith. Caitlin Nicole Snyder. Erica Brooke Solomon. Mariah Shea Spikoski. Elizabeth Spicer. Brianna Elizabeth Stokes. Laura Strachan, Emily Campbell Stritch, Alexandra Catherine Stritch, Lauren M. Tennant, Chloe Jasmine Thornton, Adriana Kwiatkowski Torres, Julia Rose Trainum, Nicole H. Trent, Gabrielle Trinowski, Paige C. Truskowka, Grace C. Uray, Jillian Rebecca Van Doren, Trinity Paige Verbeck, Ashley Caroline Vernon, Rebecca Catherine Vidal, Samantha Paige Volpe, Caroline Rose Walsh, Sylvie R. Weiss, Olivia Rose Westfall, Carrington Paige Windle, Lindsay Elizabeth Weira, Kendall Amara Wolson,
Mark Voorhees, Eric Matthew Voros, Kaiser T. Wall, Michael Warpus, Timothy M. Warren, Anthony Waters, Daniel Gary Webster, Gavin Levitt Wilson, Matthew David Wolf, Anthony David Wolverton, Jackson Wharton, Donovan Tay Wu, congratulations, class of 2019. I would like to now call Senior Class President Owen Blumlich back to the podium to lead us in the Tassel Ceremony.
All right, before we get to the Tassel Ceremony, I'd just like to take a brief moment to introduce a new tradition that the class of 2019 will be starting here at Shawnee. As Senior Class President and as Student Council Class President, Pat and I would like to take the opportunity to pass on the senior flags to the class of 2020. This is our formal way of passing the torches to the senior leaders of next year. As Senior Class President, I would now like to invite Bella Turner, Class of 2020 President, up to the podium.
As Student Body President, I would like to now invite Lucy Clapton, Student Body President for 2020, up to the stage. By passing these flags, we the seniors give our full confidence in the ability of the class of 2020 to continue to move Shawnee in their own direction. We hope that you will continue to encourage school spirit, be upstanders, and promote student involvement at Shawnee.
All right, now my final duty as Shawnee High School Senior Class President is to lead you in the tradition of the Tassel Ceremony. Will everyone in the Shawnee High School's class of 2019 please rise? At this time, please move your tassel from the right to the left. It is now my honor to graduate the class of 2019. Congratulations.